sign a 2-year deal.
I think Stokes will be the one that suffers.
I think Stokes will suffer as well with Gary Mackay-Stevens coming in.
That'll not bother me one bit.
No, me neither.
See, Stokes is up for the fight. Do you know what I mean? He's done well and he's seen a few of them off. You know, so at the end of the day, it's competition, and that's going to be good for us.
Exactly.
I heard the guys talking earlier on. Yeah, Stokes has got this guys and I'm one of them. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a lover of him, to be honest with you. He scores nice goals, but I'm not a lover of him. I think he tends to drift a little bit.
What I would say, when we're playing in Europe, he's been basically useless for us. You know, he's no stepping up to. But you can say that about half the team.
Yeah.
You know, you could say.
I have noticed actually recently, to be honest with you, and I'm not a Stokes lover, that he seems to be coming back a bit to help out the defence where he just always stood in the wing. He seems to be coming back to win the ball a wee bit. I've noticed that in the past few weeks.
Do you not think that's just been him more learning that role though? Because that was never a position he played, like, you know.
Correct.
I just think he's got better and he's got more comfortable, and I just think I always think Stokes has been excellent this season.
I think the four of us are agreed in this show that for value for money, Anthony Stokes has been out of this world for Celtic. For what we paid for him and what he's delivered. If you look at Gary Hooper wouldn't have got half the goals if it wasn't for Stokes.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And Commons. I mean, the three of them have played well together. That's a fact. Yeah, just that. It's a shame. I'm just not a lover of him. Like, you know, so same as like I'd be glad to see the boy Mackay-Stevens and what do you call him? The wee Forrest. I mean, he's he can't be playing like that the way he plays. You know, 15 minutes with his ability. It's not good.
Just mention here, Scott's Pats fan on the chat room is saying, "What about Henderson?" I think there's a guy. There's a young quality player that'll suffer as well.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Hibs.
Yeah, but he's very young though, isn't he?
I know, but I mean, he's also very talented.
Yeah.
Aye.
Listen, it's good problems to have. Like,
exactly. You don't just want one player for one position.
That's true. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
And the fact that I mean, I think Hibs tried to take him on loan at the last minute, Henderson, and obviously they were knocked back. So Dial obviously still sees him as part of the team, like, no? Because they could have the chance to put him out to Hibs to
let me ask this then. I mean, before we let Tom go, who is Stuart Armstrong battling with for a place then? Johansson?
He won't win that battle.
Exactly.
He's Dial's man. He's first.
I think Beaton, just for the and I know it's a different type of player, but I just think we'll sort of sacrifice that defensive side of the midfield to bring Armstrong in. I think Brown will have to do more of the sort of.
Well, then, do you think that's the final? Do you think that's one of the pieces in Ronnie Dailu's attacking idea of Celtic, that sort of Celtic idea?
Definitely is a long-term option for
bringing
that
someone like Armstrong in who can probably sit in that position, but also has that ability to go forward.
Aye, and I'll tell you someone else. You know what someone else I love about it? I love the fact that we've signed two good Scottish footballers.
Aye.
I just love the fact that we're getting Scottish players. And that's not against any foreigners, anything like that. But we've got guys now.
It's about racist, isn't it? No.
No, what I mean is we know as fans though. What I mean is not. I know what you mean, but and you know how I'm laughing. But we know exactly what these guys bring to the table. They're no projects, which a lot of young players we bring for Europe are sort of project players, and we wonder how they're going to fit in. I think we kind of know what these guys have already, and where they fit into the team. If you know what I mean.
I agree with you.
And like sort of players that you just take a chance on. Like, I don't think we're taking a chance on these guys. I think no.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom, I'll let you go, mate, because clearly the sun is on your back and the beach is calling you. When I say the beach, I don't mean the bitch. I mean the beach.
Oh, go down and see the whale that washed up last night.
Here, make sure the Viagra's wore off if we get that blowhole.
Oh, aye, that's. Aye, I'll have a look to see what she is. Aye, okay.
Tom, listen.
I took a pill last night, but I used it.
Yeah, well, anyway, here. If all else fails, make a tent. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, okay, boys. Listen, I appreciate you giving me the time. I'll get back to you in a few weeks or so. Then I'll tell you, I'll give you an update in Vegas if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Sound, Tom. Always welcome, Tom. Good fun.
Okay, keep up the good work, lads, and I'll see you later. Hail, hail.
Hail, Tom. Hail, mate.
Yes, Tom.
Daddy.
Well, it'll actually be good to get Tom back on convention, and obviously when Paul's on as well, and they can talk about the Astro skiers.
Always great to have Tom on.
I've got a Cooper on tonight. I know I've mentioned it on here before, right? See this Cooper I've got on, right? I've got Bolton at 8-1. Imagine putting that in a Coop. Why not just put a 10 on that itself? So I've got Bolton, got Real Madrid, they're 2-0 up.
2 up, boy.
I've got Napoli 0-0, and I've got Vittoria Setúbal, they're 2-0 up. So basically, Bolton, they're 1-0 up, and Napoli, see for my tenner, I get 290 quid back. So I need a wee Napoli goal at the minute.
Are you just gloating there, or what's the story?
I'm not gloating, I'm not winning anything yet. Napoli are fucking drawing 0-0.
See, but
I thought you were going to say it was going to be like $5,000 or something when you started off with Bolton 8-1. When you said Bolton 8-1, I was thinking, shit. That's a bit. When you've got somebody 8-1 and I couldn't, that's a big start. Like,
here, plus, saying that shit online isn't smart. There's some fucking guy coming around your house now with a fucking window scraper. Going to put it through your fucking, put it through your car window.
I'm fucking living. Come on,
just have it on a head with a sign queue.
Guys outside your windows with window scrapers, they usually just try to clean them.
I know. Here, listen. You ever try hitting somebody with the butt of a window scraper? That does a job.
No, Jason's got a body of signed queue there, half a signed queue, just sitting fucking.
I've got signed baseball bat.
He's got signed queue nunchucks. It fucking get this thing.
Well, you answer that call, Joe.
Here, listen. Okay, now we've got 4 of us on the line, 5 of us on the line now. We have James Coyle, and of course, James, you there, mate?
Yep, how are you doing?
1 second, James. We also have a representative of the Shambolic.
Hail, Trips.
Is this Richard? The prodigal son has returned. He is back in the fold. Clearly, that's it. The kids are done, are they? Finished? Out to college and finished?
We'll just hand it over to the Godfather.
Aye, like Chris McGuigan retired, Richard Swan came in, that was it.
Very good. Long time listener, first time caller. Feel very nervous. Is that what you say?
How's things?
Great to hear these lads. I caught the start of the show. I was up in the very dark lands of Lanark, the Royal Borough. That Jason knows. I was up with my wee girl swimming, so I caught the start of you talking about the Sevco game, which was good fun. And I thought I'd give you a buzz when I got all the kids in bed as well. So it's good to hear your voices, and I like what you're saying about the new signings and stuff as well. It's bright prospects for the future, I think.
So are you the same as us, Richard? That you're glad it's like young Scottish kids?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It speaks volumes, and you're right. It's not we guys were taking a chance on. It's not we 16-year-olds that are just for some ne'er-do-well club for somewhere else. These are guys who've proven it kind of time and again. Fair enough, it's come up to a whole different level with us, but they've done enough that we know exactly what we're buying. So, very positive. And especially if it isn't kind of dial his mould and the tactics that he's wanting to employ for us, can only be good. Fingers crossed.
So what's your overall thoughts on the great leader that's Ronnie? Are you bought into his way, or are you still one of the guys that are on the fence, or where do you sit at the minute?
I don't know if I would. I don't know.
What do you think he's dancing?
We'll get on to that later. How good
I'll tell you, the invitations have been sent out for the Shambolic dinner dance. He's the very man to put on a show. That was very impressive, so it was. I don't know if he would have got away with that in Drogheda when the Astra shears were there.
I don't think he got away with that all right,
There's not enough gin in him, I think.
I would sort that out, don't worry about that. He looks as if he's no stranger to a wee shandy, to be honest with you, with his videos.
You're still talking about Harper, aren't you? So, lads, thanks to your good help and approval, I'm going to be heading out shortly as a roving reporter for the HomeBhoys. Just for the listeners to fill them in. I've never expected pay when you've been involved, Harper. And that mostly comes for private emails for Joe. very, very low expectations in that front. No, obviously we wound up the TikTok, get retired. I handed over the mantle with the boys, and they blew it. And the chancellor.
The same with you, man.
They just couldn't carry it on. It was terrible. There is weird rumours of Michael trying to resurrect it in the not too distant future, but we'll see where that goes. But in the meantime,
see before you go, Richard, before you go further on, right? This is one thing that's always perplexed me, right? Harper, Joe, I want your tuppence worth here, right? See all the other podcasts, temporary stand guys as well, and the TikTok guys. He's all edited, right? So you right,
make it hard for yourselves, eh?
So see when we do one, we don't edit it because we just talk a lot of shit.
Unless somebody actually asks us.
Why do you need to edit it? Because that adds a hell of a lot of work.
Well, to be honest,
because Jason, wait a minute, before I think I can answer that because they're not us.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody's as entertaining as us on a regular basis.
I mean, you'd have 20 minutes of BJ Mack talking about the latest biscuits and rustling wrappers and all that.
You do remember the early episodes.
I mean, Kevin was talking about syphilis.
Oh, God, aye. That's right. There's a few tales, that's for sure. That just shows you what else he said and you never heard.
But then again, Jason, you make a very good point there. I think the podcast medium should be unedited anyway. I mean,
controversial.
I just think essentially what these shows are is conversations. I mean, anybody I've met, or Harper, you can back me up on this, has said the reason they like the show, I'm not saying this show, I mean generally podcasts, because it just comes across as guys talking a bunch of pish, which you would generally in the pub anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those
I could understand
lads.
There is some podcasts I listen to and I think, jeez, they've got loads of pregnant pauses and different things, and there's what are we talking about now? I think we're lucky without blowing smoke up our own arses. I think we're lucky we've got 4 guys that can just sit and talk. But
Harper, think back right to the Ustream days when it was me and you. I mean,
but nobody listened then.
Exactly. Right. So
that's hardly a flag to me.
Don't expect the prestige that we have right now straight away.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyway, Richard, it's not to cut you off.
No, not at all. You can edit this out later.
Sorry, Richard. Carry on and let the listeners know what's the future's holding.
I'm excited to hear about this now.
No, I will do it, and there will be editing in this, and it comes out of the nature of it actually, because this is something we did on a few TikToks where we went out and about and done a few kind of outside broadcasts or special interviews and that kind of thing. And of course, you can't do all that live. You've got to piece together different segments. So we'll be doing that, and it's going to be a HomeBhoys extra special. We'll throw it up in the not too distant future. It involves a chap that we all know who's become incredibly creative in the Celtic world, and that's Mr. John O'Farrell from the Celtic Canvas Art. And we're bringing together his story. We've had him on the show, of course, in the past, and we interviewed him and we showed all these kind of products at the time, which at the time it was just frames. Fantastic frames, brilliant canvases and amazing jobs that he did, and he's spread a lot of joy to a lot of Celtic fans everywhere with stuff that they've got in their living rooms and their hallways, and they're proudly showing them off before the football and stuff. And
what went on there, Richard? Richard, when we done the fundraising for the medical aid for Palestine for the MAP charity. John just contacted us straight away, and they donated a canvas art of anyone's choice. Absolutely, the guys are diamond.
And the guy that wanted Jason, the guy that wanted to send us a picture and said he couldn't. He said it's going up in his front room. He couldn't believe.
I couldn't believe it.
The quality.
And I was at your dance when you raffled it off, and Johnny Mackay's sister won it. Or Mind him, it was, but I was